All right, let's turn and give us a disappointed look.
Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
Okay, good. Now let's turn and angry glare.
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of...
Hey, angry glare. Yeah, boss, I think he's glitching again.
National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of the... They took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the national...
Did you try Control-Alt-Delete? Of course. I'm not an idiot. All right, I'm going in.
Immediately, what he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One of the...
Oh, thank God. I thought he was booting up golf mode again.
And, well, by the way, I told you it's not happy to play golf. You can carry your own bag.
Welcome again. I ought to have the two of you meet sometime. She's been on my channel a few times, and she does a lot of short clips like that. So, what'd you think of the debate there?
Well, for the first time in my life, I joined a debate party. You know, we were watching together. I believe it's more than 150 people together. A lot of people in the condensed in San Francisco. It's organized by Democrats. So a friend of mine, invited me to go, so I did. So we have a lot of people won, and we did have a good time. Watch how people debate and how people react, and I was pretty sad to see a lot of young people did not know what's going on in the world right now. They just thinking about everything. It's as what we experience in one town, but not the entire world right now. So that's me.
They don't know what's going on, do they?
No. Accordingly, yesterday, when I was at the party, quite a number of people recognized me. But those young people, I introduced myself that my name is Ellen. I'm running for San Francisco mayor, and I'm one of the 13 candidates. And they said, "Oh," and then we chat a little bit, and then I got challenged yesterday. I was challenged, and I felt like I was what's that called? Not only challenged, but also threatened. Threatened, verbally, about like why I supporting Trump, and so negative about Trump. And then I gave my answer. They did not like it and challenged more. So I just felt that there's a spirit. You
should ask them why they're supporting Biden. Come up with one good reason.
Exactly. I said, well, no, well. I because I was challenged, because I remember they have a lot of Democrats in there, a lot of young people. They're no longer reasonable. I see. This is one thing I learned.
That in the schools.
Well, this is one thing I learned, Jerry. The people who supporting Trump, that we are non-violence, we're not shouting, yelling, and cuss at people.
Yep.
However, I felt the spirit of those Biden supporters, especially the young people. They were agitated. They're really easy angry. If you don't agree with them, they just get,
well, they're taught a lot of hate.
Exactly. And I felt like, wow, this nation, our nation, need to be revived. And not only revive, but also wake up. A lot of people do not know that our nation has been invaded since so-called the Biden administration. The open border attract a lot of criminals coming, and a lot of public tax dollars allotted to the people come in illegally and unvetted, and the people who are waiting in line to come to America and is not approving it. So it looks like the good people being punished and the bad people get rewarded. And as a social worker myself, I said something is going on in America. And something is wrong in San Francisco. I felt sad. I felt sad. I came home. I thought about it. I prayed about it. And the spirit of the people, something is wrong about the spirit. God gave us a spirit, a good spirit. a spirit of anger or a spirit about depression, but the spirit I felt in people is very easily agitated, very easily out of control and angry. That's how I feel about yesterday's debate between President Trump and Biden. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear. Don't you think Biden's going to be kicked out?
Well, this is a national level. I have no idea.
It does affect your race, right?
Who?
The top of the ticket affects your race.
The top of the ticket affects my race?
Yeah, it seems to affect people down ballot when say there's a good Democrat running, it helps the Democrats. If there's a good Republican running, it helps the Republicans on
Oh, I
every
got
level.
it. Yes, yes, yes. Well, I'm in San Francisco. I'm running for San Francisco mayor, and President Trump is a Republican. I am a Republican, and many people, look down at me, on me, and then say that San Francisco is so blue, and how could a Republican be a mayor because there's so many Democrats? So people don't understand the nature of human being. Even San Francisco label as a blue city, but we have a lot of people come here from other country. A lot of people, normal people, just want a quality life. You don't feel threatened. You want safety. You want business. You want a normal family. You want traditional family.
You
And
don't have it with your current mayor.
exactly. So we have a lot of negative news came out lately. I believe there's more and more negative news about, about 2 weeks ago, San Francisco label as the very last city, which is the worst, the number one worst city out of 148 cities in America. So we know something is not right about San Francisco right now. Oh, did you see the news? You see it on the screen?
Yeah, I'm putting it up there so you can talk about it.
Wow, San Francisco Police Department will get paid $1 million a year to station an office outside police's home. Why? Why?
A
Yes,
particular officer will get $1 million.
no. I believe the remember is that a year before or 2 years ago, Nancy Pelosi's husband was home, and another guy came to the home and attacked him. I
That was
think that
his
was,
gay lover.
I believe so. That's what the news was saying. And that guy was sentenced to jail for 20 years. I'm not sure, 20
Biden
years.
tried to blame it on Trump last night. It was like some mega person. It was someone that was way on the left that attacked
Oh,
him.
no. They can blame all they want, but Nancy Pelosi's husband knew this person. And according to the news, I think that they have a relationship. I don't know what kind of relationship.
Mhm.
So the news, look, Nancy Pelosi, the taxpayer will spend $1 million just to protect her home. Isn't that outrage when we have so many homeless people are dying
Oh yeah.
with no home, with no food, and no clothes? I don't know how to say about San Francisco, but if San Francisco people don't wake up, we will get more deteriorate. So that's why I decided to run for mayor, just to let people know you have a choice. I'm a pretty good choice for people. I'm a mom. I'm a social worker. I've lived and worked in San Francisco for more than 38 years, and I just felt that some conservative people like me. I'm the only one Republican, and I believe I'm the only mother and a Republican and an immigrant, and worked for the city for almost 20 years in this race. And
Mhm.
so I'm learning as I'm growing.
You learned a lot from the first race, right?
Yes, 2018, I was nominated by a coalition of San Francisco Good Neighborhoods. So I came out to run for mayor, and that was a 6 months mayor term. And the late mayor, Ed Lee, passed away. So I was I'm from the Lee family, Ed Lee. So I'm, Ellen Lee Zhao. So
Mhm.
I came out to run and learn something new. And then I run again 2019 because 2018 the mayor passed away. It's a special run for 6 months, and then 2019 is a 4-year run for mayor. So I did pretty good. I was number 2 out of 7 people. So I'll continue to do well, and I hope San
Now,
Francisco.
between your first race and your second race, how much more did you get in votes?
Oh, I believe the first one, I never be in office in 2018. I get about almost 10,000 votes. 10,000
That's
votes.
a lot for a Republican never heard of.
Yes, for a new Republican. The first time I run not as Republican, the first time I run as a nonpartisan, no party, because I did not know which party is good
Oh,
and
okay.
bad. Remember, I'm new to politics. And then I later learned more and more about between Democrats and Republican. And I realized that the Democrat people, they like open
So I
border.
take it you didn't vote for Trump the first time.
I don't remember
Oh, okay.
because it's between Hillary and Trump. And I don't remember who I
You
voted.
might not have even voted.
I don't remember, like I said.
Oh, okay.
However, because in 2019 I came out to run as Republican, and I gained about 14% of the vote. 14% of the vote was about 24,000 votes as a Republican. I think I break a historic record as a Republican mayor candidate for a long time. So this year, it's not about Republican. It's not about Democrats. It's about what's good for San Francisco and what can we do together to transform a city, to rebirth a city, to restore law and order in San Francisco. So as I learn more and more about Democrats and Republican and any other party, the majority people that we agree on something, safety.
Yeah.
We want San Francisco to feel safe, so the people come here, they will not be having car break-in and robbery like that. And the other one is about public health. Public health and see people deserve quality of health care. Safety, healthcare, it's a majority of what we are facing. But in San Francisco is really unique. We also labor as the poop and pee, a city
In the streets.
on the
How did
street.
that change? Years ago, you weren't able to do that without getting in trouble.
Uh, the problem, the homeless problem, get worse and worse. So I think that we face four big people. I mean, in San Francisco, we face four big problems: crimes, health issues, homeless issues, and economic issues. Like 36% business left San Francisco. So as a mayor to be, because I am, no matter what they did to me, you understand, Jerry, I'm facing a uphill battle, all those
Yeah. They're trying to keep you
debate,
from being heard. They're not letting you in the debates.
yes, and all those debates are happening in San Francisco. It's mostly organized by the Democratic Party, and it's the same party destroy our city in the first place. I used to be a Democrat for more than 20 years, and as I learn, as I grow older and mature, and I mean, wait a minute, something is not right about the party. Killing babies for fun, that's no joke. Okay, the Democratic Party a lot and agree use public money to kill unborn babies. That's a fact. You can talk to them. It's all public information. And they agree illegal drugs become legal. They give free needles to drug people. And remember, some weeks ago we had a news about free alcohol also. So we have a lot of people doing business for the city, or even they contract for the city to do things, but they don't do things, and the city continue to give them money. And that's one of them. You see that nonprofit that built San Francisco for liquor and cigar and bar from city business. See, this is one of the examples.
That's government money going to that, right?
Well, what it means, I believe that what it means that people receive the money to do things, promise to do things, but they ended up did not do that. So you have to study the whole news, because
Yeah, they're taking your tax dollars for it.
Yes, all the government money it's belong to taxpayers.
Well, the other thing is the nonprofit. That means that they're not taxed, and you're being taxed to give them money, and they're stealing it.
Yes, I believe that many of the Democrats, dependent on some kind of help from the government, and the Democrat leaders, kind of using that strategy and telling them public housing, public health care, public education, everything is public. They think it's from the government. See, this is a misinformation. The government has nothing. The government is zero. The government leaders collecting the public tax dollars and allotted
they're getting kickbacks.
money.
They're getting kickbacks, like money laundering.
Yes, according to the news, I believe that government leaders, some of them, if you search in San Francisco, quite a number of politicians involved in public scamming money. A couple of weeks ago, that we have the Oakland mayor get raided her house by the FBI. I was thinking like, wow, wouldn't be nice when we happen in San Francisco for the current administration. There's a lot of things going on and it's unaccountable. And, we don't know what happened to the public dollars, the money that we're receiving.
Sounds like Biden.
Huh?
Sounds like Biden.
Well,
all that money over to the Ukraine and for his son to work on a lot of those boards when he didn't know a damn thing about oil and stuff.
Exactly. See, the point is that we have the Senate, the Congress, the people in DC. I don't know how many people work for America. I have no idea, because the policy that they set up and agree, it's un-American that I know of. And many of the people in California and San Francisco, the way that they create the policy, public policy, that is not benefit for people who just want a normal life. A normal life means traditional family, you're independent from the government, you're not depending on the government for any housing, any welfare, any food stamp, anything that is relay on the government. A lot of people, they don't want government. They don't want to be part of the government numbers, so there's a lot of issue that we are facing in San Francisco.
They'd like to have their kids do better than them. They want to pass on generational wealth, and the Democrats would like to take that from families. In fact, they don't even like families.
Yes. And if you're right, Jerry, you're right. So in San Francisco, you think about I don't know if you know San Francisco. So here's what I learned, okay? I was not born and raised in San Francisco. I was born and raised in a farm in China. So when I came in here at 16 years old, I went to high school, and later on I went to college. And I was not a citizen before. I had to learn citizenship about the history in America and learn about how, this the government process, voting, democracy, and how you get involved and participate. And I kind of learned but I kind of learned the process about how government function. But there's one thing that I keep learning about government. I'm talking about San Francisco, okay? Some other conservative city may not understand San Francisco. But San Francisco, they encourage people to be on welfare. They encourage and use homeless people on the street.
Well, they get control of you you have to do what they say if you're on the welfare.
Yes.
And you never get your welfare is not a way out of poverty.
Exactly. Is. So because I'm a social worker, I understand that homeless should be a transition program, not permanent. But what I see in San Francisco, it's permanent for people, so that they can scam the money from the public. So I kind of thought over what I see about San Francisco's situation, that when I become a mayor, people vote me in 2024. After I inaugurate in January 2025, the first thing I do is audit all the departments, their income and expenses. I know that there's a lot of money missing, and I know there's a lot of funds allocate unnecessary for programmers, useless. And so as a new mayor, I will redirect the funds and create projects to help the children, the family, the moms, seniors, and people need a housing. Because I've learned the system and watch how they corrupt and how they function and blind the public. because I go to many public hearings and I understand the situation.
Well, a
So
lot of that money's disappearing. Look at how much they spend on the homeless and per
yes,
person. That's a lot of money per person, and yet it's still a bad
yes.
issue.
In San Francisco, 10 what's that? 1 billion, excuse me, 1 billion allotted for homeless people. So my question is that, number one, do you know how many homeless is on the street? Nobody know exactly. And number two, who are the homeless? Nobody know exactly. And as a matter of fact, I was talking to people and I was challenged with the question. So if you clear the homeless people, it's illegal because they have their human right. My question is that, what about the other people who pay tax, who want quality of life? And if people are homeless, I got it. We have to help them. I got it. The point is, the politician, the current politicians, the leaders, they abuse the homeless by getting the public money and transfer the money to their own political uh, activities. That has nothing to do with the homeless. The homeless basically need a home or shelter and then a job and learn how to survive. And then that's it. It's transitioning. But why people become homeless for 20 years, 15 years, 5 years, and still homeless and still not getting help and they're dying. And many people are suffering with mental illness. So as a mayor, I thought about all this craziness going on.
Well, also they're giving out drugs to them, not trying to get them off the drugs.
Exactly. And because I do street ministry, which means I provide services to the homeless people on the street. So my new team, my new administration, we're going to create programs and we're going to trace all the homeless in San Francisco. When I say trace means because I understand that the current administration, they use the same number of homeless going to different places and repeat the number. And so inflate the number. We may not have this many homeless on the book like what we see.
Well, also a lot of money disappears too, right?
Yes. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, you say, well, what happened to the homeless people we receive the money? They never provide services. So what happened to the money? So let me give you an examples how misuse funds. 2021 and 2022, we have a lot of Christians and Catholics and people who do not want a vaccination. So we all get fired. And I was one of them. And many people get fired. However, the money was budgeted for the people to get paid, the salary money. But because people get fired, you're talking about millions and millions up to $1 billion or maybe $2 billion a year. Those are called salary and benefits. It's missing. No, and nobody question about it. So if nobody question about it, and if you have the same party, same leader, corrupt the voting system, corrupt the election, corrupt the public money, and create homeless scam and refuse to end homeless scam and continue to give free alcohol and free needles, drug them. So you see that? It's called evil. Somebody need to understand and rise up and do something about it. And I happen to be that person because I watch them and I'm a social worker and I do ministry and I do have different teams that I work with. So as a new mayor to be, I will and I am and I will go and audit the expenses and income and trace back the money and redirect the resources not only to end the homeless and help the homeless, but also create jobs for them to sustain their life independent away from the government. The government should not be collecting so much taxpayer money and put certain group of people, the mentally ill, the homeless, and disadvantaged people on the street or on the shelter and for their own political gain. So that's one thing I learned.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that someone's got to do it or else. And a lot of these politicians are getting rich, and so that it's money getting funneled back, right?
Well, according to what you heard and what you learned from San Francisco, yes. Remember, we had quite a number been indicted about money laundering, about corruption, about gift receiving and unreported, and so back and forth. If you
How come
go to
the
my
reporters
website,
aren't digging into it more than they should?
I didn't hear
Like
the
there used
last.
to be investigative
Yes,
reporters that would cover stories on this. Where's all the money for this agency going? They used to report on stuff like that. They don't do it anymore because they're in the same tank with them, or what?
Yes, I believe they're in the same family. It's called, the same Democrat crime family. I'm not talking about all Democrats. You don't have to challenge me. I used to be a Democrat. It's the leaders behind the scene and the leaders using political independent expenditure or super PAC to help certain people in the office. And then they will tell that specific people to do whatever they wanted to do. For example, destroy San Francisco, um, prolong homelessness, and create more problems, allowing the criminal to rob the business, and no punishment for criminals, and the business, no longer able to survive. And that's why, as of today, today's what time? Today's June 28, 2024. So June 28, 2024 already, we have 36% of the business close, terminate for good. However, we have more and more illegal, undocumented people coming in, criminals coming in, robbery still going on, car break-in still going on. So the question is, why the taxpayer continue to pay the same party, the same leaders of the party for the same problem that we are facing for the last 5 years? So that's my question. As a regular taxpayer, I'm a common sense person. So that's why I'm running for mayor. And when you vote me into the mayorship, we will do things differently. First of all, I'm a Republican, and Republican tend to be smaller government, independent,
Pro family, pro God,
pro job, pro family, pro America,
pro God,
border. What else we pro?
Pro God.
Pro God, yes, I'm definitely, because this nation, it says in God we trust, and we are one nation under God.
On the left, you don't see that. There's
Hmm?
on the left, you see a lot of Satanists.
Exactly. The left, which is the Democrat leaders,
Anti-family.
they anti-family. They talk about LGBTQX, and they talk about transgenderism.
Furry. They want F
and
furries and
all those can end family. No future for the family. Okay. Well, let me make a declaration, because people is gonna use what I said right now, right here, to attack me. I don't care if you are gay, you're lesbian, or transgender. That's your choice. I am talking about policies. It should not be emphasized on no future for our children. And policies should be supporting fair and square, not only LGBTQ or transgenderism, but also traditional families, supporting parents, but not to remove the right of the parents to taking care of their children. That's what I'm talking about. And also the satanic leaders, they literally worship Satan. If they don't worship Satan, how could you create policy that for a baby to be born and the 28 days and you can kill them before the 28, you still have the right to kill a born alive child? So
28
besides,
days after birth. I
yes,
want everyone to understand that after birth,
well, this is
not 28
California.
days before.
I think that's one of the state also do the same.
They
And
can't say that's just a little clump of cells once they're born, can they? Anymore?
In San Francisco and in California, it's a little different than other cities. I do not know exactly the detail because I am not in a governmental situation that I personally have to face.
Mm-hmm.
What I see is from the news. California create a law, allow the doctors and the parents who do not want their child after 28 days after they born, and they can kill them without consequences. This is called evil. This is not about abortion anymore.
Absolutely.
It is called ritual for Satan. A lot of people don't know it. So, for example, I
I
give you an
think they're
example.
following a lot of the things of those 13 families you talk about, the evil that wants to control the world. They'd like to
Exactly.
kill a lot of us.
Those are called globalists. I try to explain it to people what globalism means. I think I still have the book in here. The book, I'm just sharing one of the book that I have about globalism, the people who control the world, and you can see those faces in here. Uh, uh, George Soros, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and the other one. Who's this one? I forgot the name. This one.
I
Klaus
can't
Schwab.
see. I got to enlarge it. Hold on.
I think it's Klaus Schwab.
Yeah, Kyle Schwab. Okay.
Yeah, Klaus Schwab. So
and now his son's taken over. Yeah.
So this is only one of the globalists. No, 5 of the globalists that we talk about. So the point is, it's not about them, or it's not about just me. It's about the entire world that we all want peace, we all want love, we all want joy. The minute we get home from work, from school, we just want to be relaxed and enjoy ourselves. But the world that's controlled by these evil, wicked leaders, what they do is they illegal, create a lot of things, inflation for us. So when people go to get a job, so one job you're not able to sustain because of the high inflation of housing and food. So people have to work 2 or 3 jobs in order to raise a family. So right now, 2024, and you see the difference between 2021 until right now, because January 20th, 2021, the so-called Biden is in charge about in America, the president. And since then, we have high inflation and job loss and a lot of things going on. People have to between job and housing. So let's go back to San Francisco, Jerry. So San Francisco, we are a really pretty liberal city. Like we give, illegal drugs to drug homeless. It's all public information. We give free needles to help the drug dealers so they can sell more drugs to the drug abusers. It's free public money to buy the needles to give it to them. And then we have a lot of nonprofits, so-called to speak. They provide so-called to speak homeless services to them. But the homeless need a place to stay and some kind of support for severely ill homeless, but functioning homeless. They just want to be sheltered.
I heard that there's some homeless out there that are working like full-time jobs and still can't get housing.
Yes, if you work full-time job, yes, you can get housing. Unfortunately, so this is the situation right now.
No, I meant they can't afford housing. They still, even though they're working.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, I misheard you.
Understood. Yeah.
Yes. So in San Francisco, we first of all, we have a lot of people like teachers. They work so hard to be a public teacher, and they have to follow the curriculum. Some of them, they are just not good for the kids, but they still have to do what it takes for their job. The sad part is that because they don't get paid that much and the salary they have, and then they have to struggle between food and housing, or you have to live farther apart from the city in order to save the housing, but the transportation and the time, it costs a lot of time. So when I become a mayor in San Francisco, I'm going to do an inventory to with the property owners and small property owners, private property owners, and big corporation owners, so we can have public hearings to talk about how they can be helping the teachers and people who have children and affordable housing for workers. But I personally understand we do not have to build new housing when we right now have 36% of the housing is empty. I don't get that part. Maybe because I was challenged by people on the street. They say, Ellen, you just don't understand. We need a lot of high-rise building. We need a high-rise building to host more people. So I asked them a question. I said, wait a minute. We got 36% empty, which means we had about 80,000. 80.
It sounds like more of that money laundering.
Exactly. So if
Meng, I'll send you a link when we're done.
Okay. So
someone wanted to link up with you.
Oh, okay. Well, they can link up with me. Okay. So if we have 80,000 empty apartments and available buildings, why the government keep pushing to build a high-rise building? Do you understand? That's called exactly the money laundering. Just like you have business. Right now, we have about 1/3 of the business closed. We have a lot of empty stores, empty spaces. But why the government leaders, I'm talking about the leaders, keep talking about something as irrelevant? For example, building more housing, building more housing. Why do you build more housing?
It's government that's causing the
Limited
problem most of the
housing.
time.
Huh?
It's government that's causing the problem most of the time.
Exactly. I mean, you just so know, you just so move about ahead of time for what I'm saying. So this is what I learned. Remember, I was not born and raised in this country. The bigger the government we are facing right now, the bigger problems we have. I always tell people, the smaller the government, the smaller the problem. But we need minimum government to just to be enough for people to have some kind of central uh, reference or information or direction for the people. But in reality, we really don't need a lot of government. You know how I know? I was born and raised in farm. In a farm, we have captain, the leader, the village, the one leader, two leader, and that's pretty much it. Everybody's independent. If I wanted to open a restaurant, if I wanted to do a beauty salon, and or if I wanted to open a business to sell cars, it's my business. It's not the government business. The government
True.
will not be intervened with a lot of these regulations, and it's for their own corruption fees. In the beginning of this nation, the United States, we use the common law, which is the biblical law, which is the Ten Commandments, and which is the Good Samaritan law from the Bible, the foundation. Create a lot of law for the common good of the people. But people do not understand. Later on, they create this bar association, which is British accreditation registered, and it become a corrupt system. And then they bully people. They bully the people. You have to go to a lot of government regulation, which is some of them, they're too extreme. And many of the system itself, it's money laundering, corrupt the system for people who are good. Because if you're corrupt, you make the money corruptly. But if you're good, the money you make, it's according to what you know to make the money. So,
Yeah.
so you know what I thought about that, Jerry? Because I have a team doing common law. I have a team doing common law and teach common law. Common law is the original law, the land of the law for our nation. So when I become a mayor, I'm going to use common law and United States Constitution instead of right now the Cohen regulation in San Francisco that is created by a bunch of people who are no longer serving San Francisco. They don't even serve California. They don't even serve the government. They are a group of leaders. They worship Satan. They worship the devil, and they push God away. They don't talk about goodness of God. They lie to the children. There's no God, and so a lot of
They worship at the altar of abortion. I
well,
can't understand.
yes, yes. I believe that in San Francisco, we had a Bay Area. We had a place is called Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is a place for the elites and the leaders. I believe that they meet on a regular basis. I don't know how often, and they literally use children to sacrifice and worship and do rituals to get their political power, or Hollywood people, the Hollywood people, to get political powers. You know how I know? I just learned it lately from, Alex Jones. If you follow Alex Jones, he talked about different things and different rituals and how the satanic people, evil leaders. In the beginning, it's like, wow, really, really? And now I learn more and more as I pay more attention. Man, a lot of things Alex Jones talk about stuff. It become reality for what we see in.
So, what did you think about the Supreme Court allows cities to now enforce bans on homeless people sleeping
Yes.
outside?
Yes.
I don't know what they're supposed to do actually if the government is causing this to happen.
Oh, I realized from the screen that you put it up. Supreme Court allowed the cities to enforce and ban homeless people sleeping outside. That is true. Think about it. If I pay my tax and want quality of life, and then you have a bunch of politicians abusing the homeless by giving them drug, alcohol, and drug them, and so they lost their mind. There's no.
A lot of people have to hit rock bottom to want to quit. They have to want to quit.
Yes.
And they're not allowing that to happen. They're keeping them drugged up.
Yes. No, no sane people. When I say sane, SANE, SANE,
Yep.
sane. And when you have a sound mind and a sane soul, you will not. You will not live a life on the street, expose yourself to drug, expose your private part to the public. And many of the people are just basically soulless,
I
spiritual.
kind of think they want them to overdose and die because they wanted to get rid of the population.
Well, uh, I I believe the the system itself is not a helpful system, but do they do things on purpose to kill them? That need to be
To
verified.
help it along. Yeah.
Well, if a homeless is sick and mentally ill and incapable for self-care, and they don't have enough to eat, they eventually overdose, and plus hunger and plus sickness. That's why on average we had approximately 1,500 people die on the street a year. I would say for the last about 4 years, if I am not mistaken.
Mhm.
For the correct number that we have to verify with the coroner's office and public health. But I don't know if they'll give us the real number. But you will verify the number with the funeral homes. The funeral homes that they have the cremate people, or some of the people that's missing, we don't know where they are. Remember about a month ago or so, we have the article about 1,400 people missing in San Francisco street, and nobody knows where they are. And so with all those things we complain about, the crimes, the drug dealers, the homeless, and the quality of life, and now we have Supreme Court about that it's up to the local cities to enforce the law and ban and do not allow people to have all these 10 encampments that block the street and create a lot of drugs traffics, child traffics, or sex traffics. And that one thing that we can do in here in San Francisco, especially when I become a mayor, and my job is make sure the people who pay tax and who live in San Francisco will have a quality of life, that we don't have to be afraid when we go outside, and the homeless can be housed, and the severely ill, mentally ill homeless will be housed for 24/7 care, and the other able homeless, we make sure that they have affordable housing, so they will not stay in the system. Remember what I said?
Yeah.
Homeless is transitioning. It's not
Yeah.
permanent. Yeah.
Family union's the best. Hey, Young's watching with her family. They're sitting down to dinner watching.
Oh, okay. Do they
Yeah.
have a question? I mean, I love to
No,
answer
no.
questions.
She came on with you. Hi, Young. Hi, Young. I'm not sure I'm
Oh,
saying it right. Right.
yeah, yes,
It's
yes.
spelled Hay, but it's she pronounces the Hi Young.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember her. She came on with you once.
Yes. We talk about the COVID vaccine is planned
Yeah.
to destroy people's health. And if you go to my website, you go to the news area, then lately I have my team put the news area. If you go to the news area in my website, click news, and then you will see that 13 of the qualified candidates to run for mayor, I'm the only Republican that I know of. And because I was not born and raised in this country, I see the things differently than the people keep saying about it. So if you're in San Francisco, or if you're in United States, you think about it. We have 13 people running for mayor, but why the fake media, the corrupt media, the corrupt people keep telling people only 5 people running for mayor? So that's one thing I want to question. And also, if you think about, if you have Democratic Party and leaders controlling the outcome of the election, and it's the same party that destroys San Francisco, Democrat leaders in charge.
But I think that's part of their plan.
Yes, the Democrat leaders and the leaders behind the scene.
You used to think that they were just that dumb, but I think that a lot of that's part of their plan.
Well, remember we talked about Agenda 21, and one
Yeah.
of those people they related. Many of these people they take the order from Agenda 21, the corrupted people. Because a lot of people in San Francisco, they don't know what Agenda 21 is. They don't know what globalist is. They don't know what the what's that? The climate change.
Yeah,
Climate change is part of the scam.
it's not man-made. That's the thing.
It's
Any climate change is the environment doing it. Its own
yes, yes, but they so into training and so into
It's about
education.
extracting money and power.
Yeah. So I've learned. I believe all over this 13 candidate, for mayor. I believe I am one of those people educate and able to explain to San Francisco voters what globalists are trying to destroy San Francisco by using the current administration and the Democrat leaders who are worship Satans and don't believe in God. And if they do believe in God, they would not admit there's a God in their life, or they don't walk on God's light. Because if they're Christian, if they're Catholic, if they have God in their heart, or any other God, if you're Hindu, if you're Buddhism, any other God, you will not kill babies. You will not continue to kill unborn babies for fun, and you will not set up Planned Parenthood in.
You wouldn't
in
be
the name
transing him either. Making them trans.
Trans, yes. You will not set up Planned Parenthood to kill babies on purpose, and you will not teaching the kids in public school, tell them to trans their own gender from men to women, women to men, or boys to girl, or girl to boy. So you know what else that is funny in this whole situation I learned? As I go out the campaign, people ask me the question that I was like, well, how do I know? They say, wait a minute. The media only tell us 5 people running for mayor. Are you sure you are one of the candidates? I said, absolutely. We have 13
Now, what was the
people.
criteria for the top 5 to get on that stage? Was there a certain percentage of vote, or how did they decide which 5 got to do it?
Well, the question is, who picked the 5?
Yes.
Okay, it's Democrats. It's the Democratic Party have
So
the
they
money.
only pick socialists. That's it. That's all you get to vote from, right?
No, it's called control. Remember I talked about this book that we learned about the Democrat and the Democratic leaders related to many of those globalism control, and they agree with what they are doing is because they receive money to do what they do. They go into the race. You know how much money they spend? $3 million for advertisement, $1 million for this, a $500,000 for this. But look at my bank account. I only have enough money that I raise to pay the application fees and the regular campaign material, which is a traditional campaign. If you study the campaign from our nation, from the past until now, a regular normal campaign does not spend the money what we see in San Francisco, a control outcome, which means for all this debate ongoingly in different neighborhood, it's controlled by dog money. Okay, by the dog money, the people behind the scene give them money and tell them to do it.
I'm going to get this question. Do you think
Yes.
China's putting money in to mess up America and in our election process?
So your question is, it's China putting money in the election process
to help get people like Biden and people against you, leftists, to get elected?
So, okay.
Communists?
So my understanding that we learned from the election fraud. Remember, we have a documentary.
Yep.
We had a documentary about election fraud done by Mike Landau.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, they stole it. Yeah.
Yes. So we learned that there's algorithm from different countries, and China is one, and other country is one. So are they really controlled by Chinese people in China, or are they globalists?
I think they can affect it by putting money into campaigns. I think,
according to what we learn, there's many countries involved in the election that is what is that called? Colluded with
collusion.
In, because the Democrat leaders and the people behind the scene, the globalists, they are the one putting out the money to do the election interference. So the answer to you, I do not know 100%, but according to the documentary that we watch,
you definitely would suspect, and you wouldn't put it past them.
Yes, that's what we learn, but we don't know 100% until it's all in court, right? I believe that they're fighting in court. Once the court clear it, then you will know. So as you can see from my the news link, you go down a little bit. So
But San Francisco's schools are going broke. I thought they had billions of dollars.
oh no, that's why I put it there. Okay, slow down. So talk about San Francisco. I personally talking to many parents, I encourage the parents to pull their children
Homeschool
out from public school because they teach them transgenderism, LGBTQ at very young age. So
and socialism.
if you want to have a future for your children and you want to have a good relationship with your children, it's not a bad idea to take your kids out to private school if you can afford it. If not, then you can do homeschooling. But if you continue to leave your kid in your school, then you need quality time with your children. Make sure you go to public school and have a conversation with the principal and the teachers who teach your child. Otherwise, you kind of basically losing your child at this young age to the system that is not good for
Actually, the
parents.
whole homeless thing, they're just using that as a scam to get more money, right?
Well,
The scam.
that's one of them. You see that? How California make millions of dollars on the homeless. And about, I believe it's about 2 months ago, we have a huge article about Gavin Newsom, the current governor, that he said $20 billion gone unaccountable for homelessness situation. Another word means a lot of money given to the homeless, so-called homeless, but nobody do the accounting, and which means audit it, uh, and to find out whether the services has been delivered. So as a mayor, because I know how we learn from the news, how we learn from the government. I was a government employee for almost 20 years. I worked for the welfare office, worked for how people get housing, low income housing, Medicare, Medicaid, and the welfare office for food stamp. So I kind of know the situation and the process. And also I work
Mhm.
for public health. I work for delinquent youth and people who got out of jail with criminal behaviors like that. So I kind of learn and watch and understand how democratic leaders in San Francisco, you understand, San Francisco has been controlled by Democrats and Democrat leaders and the dog money, the globalists behind the scene for more than 20 years. Because the Democratic Party we started is not that bad like what we see, but we get deteriorate for the leaders. They gave their souls to Satan. They worship the devil, and then they tell people there's no God in the government, and in fact they don't want God in the government. So if they don't have God in the government, then they become the God of the government. Then we don't have a government right now. If you think about what happened in San Francisco, if you're in San Francisco, then you know we don't have a government for a long time in San Francisco because everything, the money that we give and do, it's according to a few leaders and corrupt the money, and they went into the government with no money, and then they all of a sudden they have a lot of government. So Nancy Pelosi is one, right? The person who passed away, Dianne Feinstein. You check the record. It's pretty much in the news. People talk about it. So if you go to my the events, we talk about that.
Yeah, someone was just asking about what the next event you got coming up.
Oh, right there. So the
You
next
just
event,
had one, right?
huh?
You just had an event.
Well, I have different events. I go out to do outreach to different neighborhood. So if people wanted to help me out in San Francisco, you want to volunteer, I need three things from people. Number one, if you live in a certain neighborhood and really busy, you can come and look for me. I give you some flyers. So you're just passing out flyers and tell them that I, Ellen, running for mayor. I'm a Republican. I am a mother. I'm a social worker. I love San Francisco, and I do want to make changes and ask people to vote me in. So when we are in, I'm going to develop. I have developed programs already. I developed quite a number of programs. So once I'm in the mayor's office, and I'm going to implement the programs, I'll invite people, the local neighborhood people to come and invite the retired people to come and able to do a lot of programs to empower the children, teaching common law to take back their rights from the government and also teaching the parental rights for parents to protect their children from the left liberal sick leaders. And as a mayor, the mayor is supposed to be educate, inform the public about what's going on in the government. It's a people government that the people supposed to have love, joy, and peace. And the government's supposed to give you liberty and justice. But that's not what we see in San Francisco right now. So, yeah. So if you go to my event, I do have a couple of future events right here. July 8th, we go there to protest. Remember? Again, we get 13 people qualified for mayor, but they only have the 5 people they corrupted together.
Are you still doing those debates every Saturday?
Yes. And then we have an ongoing debate every Saturday in Dolores Park, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. I plan to go and continue the debate. So I joined 2 times already. It was pretty good. We have the non-5. Okay, remember we have 13 people running for mayor.
The other 8.
The five, they doing their own gang. We call them the gang of 5 because it's all controlled by dark money. And then the other 8 that we try to, open to the public and have people to ask us questions through online, through email, and so we can answer them or come in person. The most important thing is that every voter deserves to know who is running and what it's he or she going to do stuff.
It's not like you got over 10,000 votes the one time and what, 20,000 the second time or something?
The first time I get almost 10,000 votes. The second time I get I think it's 24,000 votes or 25,000.
It's not like he didn't get anything.
Yes.
I mean, that's actually a fair number that gave you second. So I don't know why you're not in the debates. I don't get it.
Well, I believe that they're so afraid of me. The Democrat, they're afraid of me.
Well, they censored you last time with the billboards.
Yes. If you think about it, if the Democrat leaders continue to control the outcome with dark money, then San Francisco is going to be in the same mode because it's the same people, same money behind the scene. So in order for San Francisco to change, we need new leader, new party, new leader to make it more balanced. It's not just Democrat and one parties. And I hope people are waking up in San Francisco because we cannot live a life like this in San Francisco. So I will work with the law enforcement, the police, fully staffed, and other department is necessarily fully staffed. And we're going to restore San Francisco. We're going to lower the crime, and we do not welcome criminals to come to San Francisco. And we're going to house the homeless and heal them. And I will talk to the drug dealers because I kind of talked to quite a number of drug dealers on the street. They're some of them, they're pretty young people. I think that they've been abused. And I am a woman of God. I do believe in prayer, and prayer will open the heaven door for people to come and restore law and order in San Francisco. I just have the opportunity for the voters to have faith and to try something new. Don't vote for the same party. Don't vote for the same Democrat party again and again and again, and you expect different result. You've seen the result already. Voting a different party, a different leadership, because I am Republican and I am a different leadership. And because I'm a mother and I work for the government for almost 20 years, and I work as a social worker, I knew and watched the system, how they corrupted. So
someone said that they switched parties too. They were walk away like yourself. Yes, and they said ever since they've walked away, no one has mistreated them on the right. Is your experience the same? Have they been all good to you pretty much?
Well, I walked away. I re-registered as Republican in 2018. And it's because something is wrong about the party by using public money to kill babies and for fun, and giving illegal drugs, giving illegal needles, and killing Black babies on purpose. You talk about Planned Parenthood and have it in Black neighborhood, and encourage poor people to abort their babies, and giving a little tiny welfare so they lost their soul on the street. Those are homeless. Those are chronic homeless. Abuse them. So, I understand.
Well, they're asking if if you were ever
Sherry, it's almost
mistreated.
1 hour. It's almost an hour. You want to
And
end?
you can go a little bit over it.
Okay.
Were you ever mistreated
Yes,
by
I
conservatives?
have.
The only thing that if we go over an hour, we don't get on. What the heck? One of them. There's one of them we can't get on. But
Okay, just end it right now and come back to it. Come on, end it.
Oh, okay. All right. Later. Bye, bye, everyone.
Bye.